Hi students, I am R. Mohan Raj, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, K.S. Rangasamy College of Technology. Today we are going to discuss about Qpsk and GMSK modulation techniques in mobile communication and networking subject. So first introduction to digital modulation. Digital modulation is the process of converting digital data. So digital data means there is binary zeros and ones. So the process of converting the digital data into the form suitable for transmission or communication channel by modifying a high frequency carrier signal. Instead of sending raw digital signals directly, modulation allows efficient and reliable transmission over wireless and band limited channels. Why modulation is required? So, in mobile communication, direct transmission of baseband digital signal is not practical due to large antenna size requirements, poor radiation efficiency at low frequencies, severe interference between multiple users, and limited channel bandwidth. Modulation shift the signal to higher frequency band, enabling effective radiation and long distance transmission. So this is the requirement of modulation. Next one, that is analog versus digital modulation. So in analog modulation, that varies amplitude, frequency and phase continuously. In digital modulation, that varies these parameters in discrete steps according to the digital data. So digital modulation offers better noise immunity, higher spectral efficiency, improved security and compatibility with digital signal processing. Next one, that is what are the common digital modulation techniques that is used is some widely used digital modulation schemes include binary phase shift keying, quadrature phase shift keying, that is Qpsk, and quadrature amplitude modulation, so that is QAM, frequency shift keying, that is FSK, and Gaussian minimum shift keying, so that is GMSK. And each technique offer a trade-off between data rate, bandwidth efficiency, power efficiency and complexity. The main role of digital modulation in mobile communication. So digital modulation which enables high data rate transmission, efficient bandwidth utilization, support for multiple users, and reliable communication in noisy wireless environment. Modern cellular standards such as GSM, 3G, 4G, LTE and 5G rely heavily on advanced digital modulation techniques. And phase shift keying (PSK) is a digital modulation technique in which the phase of a carrier signal is varied in discrete steps to represent digital data. The amplitude and frequency of the carrier remain constant and only the phase changes accordingly due to the input data. Next, working principle of PSK. So that is a sinusoidal carrier signal is used here and digital data modulates the phase of the carrier. Each distinct phase represents a unique digital symbol. Receiver detects phase changes to recover the transmitted data. So why the phase modulation is used means the phase variations are very less sensitive to noise compared to amplitude variations. Constant amplitude allow the use of efficient power amplifiers, better performance in wireless fading channels. And what are the types of PSK? So depending on the number of phase states, PSK is classified as binary PSK and quadrature PSK. In binary PSK, two phase states, that is 0 degree and 180 degree, which transmits 1 bit per symbol. And in quadrature PSK, here 4 phase states is used and transmits 2 bits per symbol. and 8 PSK and M PSK means that is more phase rates, higher data rate, increased complexity and error probability. And next one there is quadrature phase shift keying. So there is QPSK is a type of phase shift keying that uses 4 distinct phase state to encode data. Unlike BPSK, which represents 1 bit per symbol, QPSK transmits 2 bits per symbol, effectively doubling the data rate for the same bandwidth. And what the basic principle here is that is a carrier signal phase is shifted to one of the 4 possible angles. So there is 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree and 270 degree. Each phase corresponds to a unique 2-bit combination. So that is a representation in binary digit. That is 00 means that is 0 degree and 01 means 90 degree. 11 represents 180 degree. 10 represents 270 degree. So what is quadrature means? So that it comes from use of the two orthogonal carriers in phase component quadrature component. So I and Q components are combined to generate the QPSK signal. Key features of QPSK, that is higher spectral efficiency that transmits 2 bits per symbol. So that means doubles the throughput compared to BPSK, and constant bandwidth usage here. So that is same bandwidth as BPSK but higher data rate is used here. And the complexity is moderate. So that is a slightly more complex than BPSK due to the IQ processing. So advantages of QPSK. So here higher data rate than BPSK without increasing the bandwidth, better noise immunity compared to amplitude based modulation, widely used in cellular systems, satellite communications and Wi-Fi. And the applications of QPSK, that is 3G, 4G, LTE and 5G mobile systems, digital satellite communication, wireless LAN and broadband networks, and digital TV broadcasting. Next one, that is GMSK, that is Gaussian minimum shift keying. So GMSK is a special type of continuous phase frequency shift keying. It is a modulation scheme used in GSM mobile communication, so which combines minimum shift keying MSK with the Gaussian filter to smooth phase transitions. And what the basic principle, that is binary data input 1 and zeros is passed through a Gaussian low pass filter. The filter data controls a frequency modulator. The result is continuous phase signal with constant envelope. So the key formula, that is S of t equal to A cos 2 pi fct plus pi t. So where pi t is a constant phase modulated by the input data. And why use GMSK means that is higher spectral efficiency. Gaussian filtering reduces out of band radiation, saving bandwidth, and constant bandwidth usage. So that like QPSK, it maintains a compact spectral footprint for efficient spectrum utilization and moderate complexity. So they're slightly more complex than MSK due to Gaussian filtering, but simpler than high order PSK. So just on recall for what are we are discussing here is, first we are discussing about phase shift keying and quadrature phase shift keying and GMSK, that is Gaussian minimum phase shift keying. So here the difference is that is PSK is a digital modulation technique. The amplitude and frequency of the carrier remain constant here. And next one, the types we discussed, and after that quadrature. So quadrature means here that is using the four phase angle. So that is 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree in 2-bit communication. Next one, that is advantages and Gaussian. So in Gaussian minimum shift keying, there is continuous phase. So here modulation scheme is used here, and the important formula for calculating MSK is S of t equal to A cos 2 pi fc of t plus pi of t. And GMSK, so that is out of band radiation and constant bandwidth, and compact spectral footprint is used here. Thank you.